Hi, today I'm going to talk about remarketing, a new test that Google are running, landing page conversion, and blog commenting.
One of the cheapest and best ways to generate traffic in your marketplace niche is to go and find your prospects and put comments in front of them. And you might say, how do you do that? Well, there are several blog search engines around. Technorati is one of them. And they will allow you to go and look for blogs based on your specific market niche. And not only just your market niche, but you can look around on a broader basis and look at similar or related niches where you can go and comment. So the idea being, you go and find a blog, you go and look at the articles, you pick some that are of interest, and you start to comment on them. Now, the sort of people that will be landing on those ideally high quality blog posts will be people looking for answers, looking for advice, looking for help in that market area. They might not be in your geolocation necessarily. Some might be. But by simply pinning your colours to the mast with a high quality comment and answer, or placing a different opinion about the particular subject, you're offering authority in your marketplace. The great thing about placing comments is, in most cases, you are allowed a link back to your website. Now, in many cases, this is often nowadays a no-follow link, but that doesn't mean people can't click on the link and be taken to your website. It's a very powerful tactic, and I would suggest anybody looking to launch a traffic campaign with a minuscule budget should be following this pretty religiously. Go out and find where some of your ideal prospects are hanging out. That might even be Facebook groups. That might be LinkedIn groups. That might be on blog posts. That might be on websites that have blogs attached that are generic news sites for your particular industry. Go out and find them. Start commenting. Start engaging. And most importantly, make sure you link back to your website. We've recently been having a lot of success with a traffic angle that's known as remarketing or retargeting. Now, remarketing is, in essence, a software-related strategy, because what you're doing is you are dropping a cookie on the laptop, desktop of your prospect who has visited your website. So for this concept to work, you need to already have some level of traffic coming to your website, good quality traffic. So what happens is the prospect visits your website, there is a cookie dropped into their desktop, laptop. At that point, you are then engaging in a marketing campaign where you can show display ads via the Google search network, or by the way, there are many other traffic networks that use the same or similar technology. What this means is your ad can then show on websites like CNN.com, BBC.com, a whole range of very high profile websites, including Oprah.com and many others. And the great power in this is, let's take a typical example. Somebody's visited your website. They have been quite interested in what you offer or what you sell. They then go away. They haven't made any purchase. They haven't made any inquiry. They wander around the internet, and lo and behold, later that day, for the next ensuing days, arguably for the next ensuing weeks, because you can set a time scale on these things, your ad will constantly remind them of your brand and your product or service. And this can appear on some extremely high profile websites, as I mentioned, which really raises the estimation of your company in their minds. So not only is it keeping your brand and your company name front and center in their minds, but it's also arguably positioning it in a higher level. Pretty damn important and very powerful. And quite frankly, every business in the world should be running a remarketing campaign, because the cost and the payoff are dramatically leveraged. One quite common misconception in the conversion world is that landing pages need to be coated full of text. The traditional sales letter talks and gets hold of your emotions and drags you through this story and process of how XYZ did XYZ, all because of us. In our experience, keeping your message succinct and using visually pleasing angles, for example graphics that potentially make certain bullet points very neatly in a short space, using quality images, using videos, using slideshows. Now, slideshows are heavily misused. It's not untypical in the modern world to see a website that has what we call a rotating carousel at the top. This might be the full page width, even extending halfway down the above the fold area. This is known to be a conversion killer. However, if you use slideshows minimally, i.e. use them small, allow them to take up a small space of the above the fold area, and rotate good messaging combined with images, that's a very, very good conversion tactic. It's amazing how subtle changes and differences can have a huge impact on the behavior of your traffic. Clicking the back button, waltzing around your website without doing too much, or actually saying, hey, this is where I need to be doing my business. I'm going to go to the next level and fill out the form, buy the product, take the next step. Last week, a very interesting beta test was released by Google, which was basically allowing images to be included in the search network advertising campaigns. Now, this was done on a very limited basis, but the opportunity, particularly for products, but even for service-based businesses, to highlight 1, 2, 3 images with their text-based ad is pretty big, because to date, the vast, highly qualified traffic in terms of the AdWords empire seems to be going through the search network rather than the display network. The display network is very powerful and leveraged well, great opportunity there, but the search network has the really targeted, qualified traffic. So to now allow more attractive ads that can include images could be a very big breakthrough, and certainly would have a very negative effect on SEO traction versus AdWords traction. Because if you can imagine a search engine results page where the ads are showing images, specifically chosen images for that particular advert, and the organics are just showing text, well, I'm sure I don't need to tell you the traction will be more so with the ads, even more so than it is today. And today it's way ahead of what it was 12 months ago.